Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another week of wrestling content rundowns, recaps, and this week is a big one because we had SummerSlam. So before we get started, I wanted to say I took the time to kind of revamp my entire page, my entire theme. I really, for a long time, have been trying to think of I don't want to say branding because it's not really branding, but just like a theme that fits me. So you guys are going to see new logos, new cover art, all of that good stuff from me, new overlays on my lives starting today, because I want to kind of totally revamp the page and really give it my own piece of flair. And I wasn't loving what was going on before. So this is August is a new start, new content, and so we're gonna have new themes and new colors and rock it out this month. So I just wanted to say you're gonna see some new things from me, including this weekly session. So we were calling this the weekly wrestling rundown, which is still a good name, but it's kind of bland. It doesn't really fit me per se. So instead of weekly wrestling rundown, this is going to be called the Fab Rundown, and everything, every series that I make is going to be incorporated with some kind of fab, because not only is this channel about wrestling, but it's about me and my own little personal flair. And if you guys know anything about me, I love the glam, I love the fabulous stuff, I love the sparkle and the glitz, and so what better way? Plus, it's kind of a nod to like the Fab Five basketball days too, which is an iconic time. So we're gonna start calling this the weekly Fab Rundown. And hopefully that doesn't change. Hopefully I don't get sick of it because y'all, my toxic trait is getting tired of things and changing them. So we're gonna hopefully stick with this one and it's gonna work. But let's get into everything that has happened this weekend at SummerSlam and on Raw last night. So let's start with night one of SummerSlam first. And to be honest with you, night one to me was honestly a little boring. I won't lie. We had some good matches, but then we had some matches too that was like, that could have been a little better. But they kicked off the show with Jay and Roman versus Bronson and Braun, and it was such a good match, you guys. The mix of like the veteran tag team and Jay and Roman, because they have such chemistry and have worked together for a long time, versus like the new tag team of Braun and Bronson, because they haven't worked together as long, was a really good mix. Seeing Roman fly through the sky was insane. But I'll be honest with you, I really thought Bronson and Braun were going to win this match just because of the fact that Seth's faction really needs to be like top dogs. So I thought that they were going to take that W, but I am happy to see Jay and Roman working back together, taking that W. And also, Roman threw himself in front of a spear for Jay. So that is love, you guys. That is love right there. So it was a good way to kick off the weekend, I think. I honestly think it was probably the best way to kick off the weekend. Because whenever Roman Reigns and Jey Uso are in the ring, people are tuned in. So I think that was a really good way to kick off the weekend, and I think it was overall a great match. Now I will say I was disappointed in the Karrion Kross Sami Zayn match. Number one, I wanted Karrion to win. No offense to Sami, but I think he needed that win. But also I just felt like it was kind of quick. We didn't really get to see a lot of what they can do, and I know that they both can do great things. It just felt a little forced to me. I also was a little disappointed in the Jade and Tiffy match, to be honest with you, because I really feel like not a lot happened. I really feel like Jade kind of got squashed in that match, which is insane because she is a powerhouse in the women's division. And I'm honestly very shocked that Tiffy retained because I feel like she has beaten so many people. She's beaten Nia, she's beaten Charlotte, now she's beat Jade. So she has beat all of these people, and I don't know who's next. Like, now I'm like, who is next to actually beat Tiffy? Like, what feud is going to live up to those feuds? So I really thought it was Jade's time. I really thought there was a lot of storylines that they could play with if Jade held that title. I get that Tiffy is a star right now because she is, and I absolutely love her. I think she's great. I just feel like maybe it was time. Maybe it was time to move on. But regardless, I love these two in the ring, so I can't wait to see what they continue to do. I just feel like it was a little bit of a letdown of a match. I feel like it went way too fast. The match that I most enjoyed was, of course, CM Punk and Gunther. I thought that was honestly such a great match. The two of them had great chemistry. The match was great. I loved the fact that Punk was basically getting his ass beat the entire time, and then he like flipped a switch. I thought that was so great. And if anybody watched any of my TikToks or predictions or whatever, y'all know that I was on Team Punk the whole time. I wanted Punk to take that championship. I think he deserves it. I am not surprised Seth Rollins cashed in. I had a feeling that it was going to happen. I had a feeling because they were being so sketchy about this injury. Typically, we see an injury and they're like, within a week, they're like, oh, so and so has a broken toe or so and so has a dislocated leg, like whatever it might be. We know within a week what is going on, what is the time frame, what's the thought process. I mean, take a look at Livy. When she got hurt, we knew very quickly that she was going to be out for some time. And with them being so secretive about Seth, like, oh, well, it was swollen, so we couldn't really look at it. And then they said nothing. Nothing. I just had a feeling that something was up. And sure enough, it was. He comes out and he takes the title from CM Punk. And honestly, I was so upset about it. And a lot of people like on TikTok were like, "Why do you hate Seth Rollins?" Like, I don't hate Seth Rollins. I love Seth Rollins. He is a menace. He is a fantastic performer. I love Seth Rollins. I hated the fact that I really think Punk deserved that title and a little bit with that title, and it got taken away. I know that this is going to create a huge feud in the future, though, so I'm pretty excited to see where this goes and to really kind of see this Seth Punk thing play out because we know there's some serious bad blood there, and I think it's going to make for a very big feud of a decade. Honestly, I think they're going to have a top-notch feud. We also had the women's tag match, which honestly, I went back and forth on this. I love both of these tag teams. I actually think Raquel and Roxanne work really, really well together. And I love the dynamic with Charlotte and Alexa because they have that like big sister, little sister vibe. So I went back and forth, and my final decision was that Roxanne and Raquel were going to win. I thought they were going to keep it with the Judgment Day, but I was wrong, and they let Charlotte and Alexa hold those tag titles, which I honestly love. I cannot wait to see what they do and who challenges them and what they face because, like I said, I love that number one, they're two like legends, and then also they have that like weird vibe, like, I don't know if we're friends. I don't know if I should trust you, but I do love you. So I think it's going to set us up for some very interesting um feuds with them and some very interesting storylines because are they really going to trust each other and how is that going to go? And so I'm excited to see what they can do, and I'm also wondering what is next for Roxanne and Raquel because we know Liv's out for a little bit longer. We know the Judgment Day hasn't been on great terms. So what is next for them is the question. And of course, we have to talk about the Logan Paul, Drew McIntyre, Randy Orton Jelly Roll match, and it was great. It was better than I anticipated. Honestly, I never know how those matches are gonna work out, but it was really good. I have to give major props to Jelly for taking that spot in the table because that was insane. And I also have to give major props to Logan Paul because that jump and that spot was epic. Honestly, it was epic. And at the end of the day, whether you like him or not, he does deliver in the ring. He does perform. So I have to give him props. I am very interested to see where this goes. I think that Randy and Drew still have some unfinished business. I think Logan is good, will challenge anybody and everybody that gets in his way. So I think there's more to come out of the three of these guys. Honestly, I think it would be kind of cool to see like a triple threat match, maybe. Um, because let's be honest with you, Drew and Logan might have looked good in the end of the match and they might have stood tall, but Logan is not ever going to be friends with somebody if he can get something ahead of them. So I feel like they could really play with this storyline and have a triple threat match. Or like they could continue this Logan and Drew carnage thing. I mean, they could continue to wreck people because they did work really well together. And they both kind of right now have that like asshole vibe going on. And so I really think that whatever happens could be epic with this match. But overall, I again, I was super impressed with how it went down because like I said before, whenever celebrities get involved, you never know what's going to happen. I am surprised that Jelly and Randy took the L because with all of the hype that they did, I really thought that they were going to win. But now let's move on to night two. So night two was far better than night one for me. I think there was more solid matches. I think there was more standout matches. So night two honestly took the cake for me for the whole weekend. Naomi, Io, and Rhea was an excellent match, which I am not surprised because Io and Rhea always make magic together. And then you throw in Naomi in that mix, and it was just superb. And I am super excited to see where all three of these women go. The women's division at the moment is just absolutely killing it every single match that they're thrown into. So I am very excited to see Naomi. I'm really excited to see Naomi and Stephanie at Clash of Paris, and I'm excited to see where Io and Rhea go because they're still really good friends. They have great chemistry in the ring. So do they tag team? Do they continue to go after Naomi's belt? Like, what happens with them? So I'm intrigued by that. I think that these three made this match excellent. And I have to give props to the women because let's pivot into our next match. Did you see Candice LeRae take that spot and fall off that ladder? Because oh my god, girl deserves MVP of the weekend award for that. That was amazing. And this TLC match in general was super amazing. It took me back to my Hardy Dudley days. Like, it really brought out the essence of what tag team was back in the day. And I love that because I feel like so much momentum had been taken off of the tag teams recently that this really put them back in the spotlight. I am not surprised that the Wyatt Six retained because they just won the tag title, so I definitely did not think that they would lose them. And I'm intrigued now by this tag team whole division. And that's a lot because before I was like, oh, tag match, like this is going to be boring because we were getting the same 2 to 3 tag teams every single week. Now we have several and we have a lot to build on and a lot to grow on. And so I'm very excited about this. And this match honestly was so good. Then, of course, we had Becky and Lyra. Bayley popped up. Not surprised by that. I called that. I honestly thought Bayley was going to pop up and turn on Lyra. She didn't really turn on her, but she did cost her the match. And I feel like we're gonna get a I thought we were gonna get a Becky Bayley feud, but I think now we're getting Lyra and Bayley. I definitely think we're getting Lyra and Bayley. And I think Bayley's gonna go back to a heel. We had Solo and Jacob, which honestly I was so excited for this match, and I feel like it was kind of a dud. Like, it was a letdown for me. I love Jacob and I love Solo, and I think they're both stars, and I think that they could have done a lot more in this match. Given the time, giving the, chance, I think this match could have been a lot better than what it was. And it really makes me disappointed that it was this lackluster. I was excited to see Big Jim. But again, I don't know where these two go. I think Solo should rock that championship for a little while, and I honestly think Jacob should contend for like Seth's championship or Cody's championship. I think he is that star quality power, and I think he could do it. But yeah, this match to me was one that I was very excited for, and I got pretty let down about it. And then of course Dom and AJ, and your girl was nervous for this one because let me tell you, no belt had changed hands, and I was worried for Dom Dom, but he pulled it off with the victory with his little sneaky unzipping the boot, and it worked, and I'm here for it. I will say I loved all of the nods to Eddie in this. The car that AJ came out in, the tights that he came out in, the chair spot. Like, I loved all of those nods to Eddie. It made this match even better for me. But I'm gonna tell y'all, Dom is a star. Like, the way he plays into his character, the way he really commits, and his in-ring ability is great. So I am so excited to see where he goes. I hope that he holds this title for a while. And then I hope after he drops this title, he gets into a big title picture because I think he deserves it. His evolution is what you want from a young star like that. So I absolutely enjoy Dom. He has become one of my favorites, and I cannot wait to see what he does. And then we have to talk about the very last match, Cena and Cody, and it was epic. Like, that's the only thing that I can do to describe this is epic. Like, they both performed their asses off. Cena performed his ass off for sure. Like, he was killing it. His tricks and his moves, I was just intrigued the whole time. I love that they had John turn face for this match because I think it allowed him to really enjoy his last SummerSlam and to pass the torch to Cody, which is what we know is going to happen when John, retires. Cody is QB1. Um, and I just feel like that was a great way for him to pass the torch to him. And I hope he gets chances to pass more torches because there's a lot more people in the division that's going to take over for that John Cena spot. And I hope he gets the chances to do that. I loved the ending where, John acknowledged Cody. And then we talk about the real ending when John was trying to enjoy his SummerSlam moment and Brock showed up. Now, I've been asked about this a lot. I'm not gonna say much on it. I will be 100% honest with you. I'm not gonna talk about it much. I to me the ending of SummerSlam was great with Cody and John passing the torch, and then John having his last moment at SummerSlam. I didn't need it. I did not need the return. WWE did not need the return. Um, and honestly, even before this like lawsuit issue, I wasn't the biggest Brock fan. He was all right, like, but I wasn't like dying to watch his matches. I find it surprising that with this being an active case, they brought him back. I find it surprising that they thought it was more beneficial to bring him back. And I find it surprising that they did not think about the backlash that they were going to get from bringing him back. At the end of the day, it is an active lawsuit. His name is in it, and that's all I can say. It's an active lawsuit. His name's in it, and I just don't think it was time. I don't think that it was the right decision. And that's what I'm going to leave it at. It was not the right decision. I'm not going to get into it. I'm just not. I don't want to. There's too many aggressive opinions, and I just don't want to do it. So I'm just going to get into it, and I'm just going to leave it at I'm shocked that they brought him back and that they thought that was the right choice, and I don't like it. I don't like it. And that's what we're going to leave it at. And that it is what it is at this point in time. But let's move on to Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw was good. It honestly, for the Monday Night Raw after SummerSlam, it was good, but it wasn't fantastic. I mean, it was fine. I just didn't feel like we got a lot of like depth to take us into Clash of Paris, but we still do have a couple weeks. Nikki and Becky cut a promo that was wild. Becky absolutely roasted her on the mic, and I love Nikki so much, but I was literally in my chair dying at her promo. We saw Seth pop up and, say that he pulled off this big epic injury thing and that he is on top, which he is. But then we saw LA Knight come out to challenge him, which I'm not surprised by. LA Knight has revenge for him. He has had revenge for him for a while now. So it makes perfect sense. I don't think it's over. They did fight at the end of the night. CM Punk came in, caused a DQ, which I predicted, but I don't think this is over at all. And honestly, with all of the hands that are in this, I feel like we could get like a triple threat or even a four, like a fatal four match, because Roman came in at the end to get revenge as well. There's a lot of people that do not like Seth Rollins at the moment, so he needs to watch his back because there's a lot of people against him. But at the end of the day, him, Braun, and Bronson, with Heyman by his side, stood tall, which makes sense because they're trying to show that this faction is a huge powerhouse, that they are going to run the division, and they basically did last night. They hit 19 tsunamis on Roman Reigns. I'm expecting him to be off of TV for a while because he has a movie to film, and I think that's why they did that. But I definitely think that we are going to get more LA Knight Seth and more LA Knight Punk and more Punk and Seth. So there is a revolving door of opportunities for those three that are going to happen. We saw Lyra pretty much break up with Bayley. She is done with Bayley. She's mad at Bayley. And I personally think that that's going to be Bayley's next feud is with Lyra. I think Bayley's going to turn heel, like I said before. And I think we're gonna get a Bayley that's very aggressive because she is mad that she was not in WrestleMania or SummerSlam, and she's going to take her spot back. Sheamus and Rusev are still brawling all over the United States of America, and they're going to be brawling in Clash of Paris soon. That's definitely where we're headed. What I did find interesting though was Sami Zayn being thrown in the mix. So I'm wondering, is that like, are we gonna get a triple threat now that Sami's kind of involved? Because we saw Sami try to stop them, and he got hit himself. So that'll be an interesting piece of the puzzle to connect. And then we saw Triple L Grande Americano. Starbucks is going to run out of coffee soon if we keep getting all of these guys. So I don't know where they're going with this storyline, but I'm still not into it. I don't, you can bring 10 of them and I'm just not into it because I don't know where the hell it's going. Like, I really don't know where it's going. Dom and AJ are still beefing, which again, I don't know where that's going either because I feel like Dom's next opponent should definitely be Finn. So I'm not sure where this Dom AJ thing is going to end up going. But they're still beefing. AJ's still mad. He knows that Dom unzipped his boot, and so he came after him during his match last night. But yeah, like that's basically the highlights of last night. We had a rematch of the women's tag team. Nothing major changed. I just feel like for it to be the Monday after SummerSlam, it wasn't really that crazy. Usually they're crazy. Usually they're epic. Like major things happen. And to me, the biggest thing that happened last night was knowing that Becky and Nikki are going to be feuding, and I'm excited for that. But other than that, it was overall a good show, an overall great weekend. If I was ranking SummerSlam, I'd definitely give it an 8 out of 10. I think it was overall great. Night one was a little slow. Night two picked up the pace for us. But I think we have a lot moving and a lot grooving going into Clash of Paris and, Survivor Series. Honestly, like you guys, it's in November, but it's just around the corner. It'll come faster than what we know. And then we will be setting up for Royal Rumble after that because they move fast around here. So I fully expect some epic weeks to come, and I cannot wait to be along this ride with you guys. But as always, if you have not, please subscribe to my channel, like and comment on my videos, follow me on all socials, and I appreciate you guys being here on my channel.